Okay, so from this point on, there's so many pass plays. I'm just showing you the actual playbook where it lives online. You guys can get this link from me if you want. Three step. Okay, you can see all the different plays here. Let's just start with Omaha. So this is just basically double outs. Okay, it's double sticks from 2x2. So the thing about this is we're gonna get basically um, read from left to right. You're gonna pick a side to start, whichever looks like the best matchup. Just pick left or right. Work outside in 1 to 2. We have the quick little Omaha route, okay, and then we have the inside stick. So depending on if it's zone, it's going to be pretty easy to see that, hey, this Omaha route is going to be open most of the time, unless it's covered 2 hard flats, right? So just give it to him. If there's open access, free access, throw it. Then you have the stick route. If it's zone, he should sit down. So that would be your second option. If it's man-to-man coverage and we get a corner that's playing this out route, you're going to see it right off the bat. The corner should be just sitting there or even driving down. Okay, this is a 3-step throw. So then now you're just going to transition your eyes over to the stick route, and he should be continuing to work out versus man-to-man coverage. All right. Now I'll talk about the outlet on the field, your check down. We're going to use a little bit different than what we see here, but that's Omaha, and we don't really have it up out of too many plays. Only have it out of one play right now, so we won't spend a lot of time on this. But I want to make sure you guys can find this later on. Let's jump onto the field and let's find Omaha. All right, so Omaha lives in one formation for us. It is in the deuce formation for Coen, aka single back ace close for us in the college football world, if you want to use just the generic names. Okay. All right. Stick is the name of the concept. Let's just kind of look at it from a overall standpoint of just going up against zone. Let's go with quarters. All right. So we get this out route. I'm going to look to my left right now. 1, 2, 3, throw. Free access, meaning that there's nobody between me and that receiver. There's nobody's dropping out quickly. If there was a hard flat, let's say that quarter flat defender was going to just drop out right now, or there was a guy on the line of scrimmage, like an outside linebacker, and he got into the window, then your eyes just automatically go to the next guy, all right, which would be your number 2 read. Now, let me quickly, before I even go into make sure I do this, is talk a little bit about the protection, okay? In the quick game protection, I'm not going to be overly complicated with setting. I'm not going to always sit there and quick game and say, hey, let's slide the line one way, do all that stuff. But let me just put the ball closer to a hash. That's pretty realistic. We still want to use the same idea that we've used in protections from the Shanahan video. I haven't really talked about it too much since, but we're going to basically have our running back use the check option for he can do the block and release. Okay, L2 on PlayStation. So I know in the diagram he's supposed to go up the middle, but I don't have a check block and release up the middle. So I'm basically just going to have him work to the flat. All right, so that's that. Um, and then I'm going to take the offensive line and I'm going to have the protection scheme be. Hold on, sorry, I don't know why it's not coming up. Hold on, let me reset this. For some reason, the protection is not giving me the option to do it right now. All right, so we're going to half slide away from the back. Okay. The back is going to end up doing his check release right to the left. Our mic is in the middle. Okay. So this is 3-step. There's not really a technically hot route, but if you had to throw the ball to somebody, if you get pressure, you have to get 2 guys coming, the mic and also potentially those guys that have the fire over their head, but make you have to get rid of the ball quickly. It'd be a 6-man rush. Actually, I take that back. It would have to be the mic. It would have to be those 2 outside players outside the mic. I'm sorry, the ones that are hot. Okay. Because if they do bring 6, we technically should be able to block this with the halfback. All right. If the halfback sits in there and does his job. So the point is, overall, we're okay. But if you do want to throw the ball hot, look at one of those inside stick routes to be like the guy you want to potentially look at and throw the ball to. All right. My camera angle is a little bit messed up here. Let me change it back to what I'm used to. Okay. All right. So we're good there. All right. So we're just going to basically have the halfback go to the flat. We can optionally here just slide if we want. And if you don't like the looks or it's not there for you, your halfback should be your check down. I'm not sure what happened there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it's a little bit buggy. That's okay. He kind of checks to the middle. It's interesting. He checked out to the he went to the left, but he went through the middle because of his protection. If I just actually put the halfback onto a just a regular delay right here, he should go out like this, which would be a lot better if he doesn't bump into somebody. But you need to have that on three step, all right? Something that a lot of people don't always talk about. You should have a halfback who is check releasing for you on three step, all right? So that's Omaha stick. Let me just give it to you real quick versus man to man coverage. The most obvious man to man coverage you're going to get in this game is probably all out pressure. You got to be careful because the tight ends sometimes they kind of bump into people, but you got to be okay to throw that ball right there versus man to man. The tight end is your key. Your receiver is not going to be somebody you want to throw the ball to, but your tight end should be the guy. All right. All right. That's it for Omaha. I'll see you in the next play. Okay, we have here stick spacing coming up next. It's probably the biggest part of the quick game. It's the last part really. So let's just jump right into the actual diagram. Okay, diagram wise, in their playbook here, stick spacing. I'm pretty sure we can work off of this one. Okay, so the backside of let me actually show you this real quick. Okay, that's the old spacing there. Okay, let's just go back to where we were. I apologize. Let's go with just stick spacing. So this one is probably the best one to take a look at. Let me get my highlighter here. So this play here, we're going to look at it. We're going to work the stick side. We just got a flat route by usually some sort of off the ball person. Okay. And then we have stick route by our on the ball character. And we're going to work that side first. We're going to go from left to right. And then spacing can have different forms. This is regular spacing. There's also spacing switch, which is what we're going to use in the game, where one will stay one, and then number two would become that next little hook route right there for you. So we have the OTB route on the ball. We get a little hook route, and then we get some type of like through flat going to the flat. And we're just reading it 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. And I've always told you that when you have that type of talk, don't listen to them. You might go real quick 1 to 2, but to me, it's going to be more of like these three are going to be kind of grouped together. You need to quickly be able to analyze these three and be able to throw it to one of them is going to be open versus majority of coverages maybe not covered too hard flat. But everything else that there's going to be, if we're flooding them with five guys underneath, to potentially there's only three guys underneath or four guys underneath, and that's that. All right. So let's just take a look at this play on the field. It's going to be a big play for us. We can kind of change the reads and start with the spacing side if we want first, but I actually still like to keep it to the stick. There's a lot of times when I skip through my reads, I realize that there was somebody wide open in the first part of the read, and that's West Coast style offense, wide zone offense. You don't want to just give up the easy completion. All right. You want to take it until they can't stop it. All right. So let's jump on the field and let's take a look at this play. Okay, so we are back on the field here. If you guys looked at the playbook on the call sheet, we have a good number of these. The first one is probably not my favorite one, but let's just do it from the beginning. It's going to be snug right or left, which is deuce close, spacing switch. Just one pro tip that I like to do is I actually like to put the spacing to the field if I have to flip this play, but I try not to actually flip this play. I'll talk about that later. All right, I'm actually going to take the halfback and put him out to the flat right now. Okay. When it comes to this spacing, I like it like this. I want him to get to the flat to influence the number 4 option, technically, the X. I want him to get open a little bit sooner than the type of route that he has already with the flare route. So To the left-hand side, we don't have a lot of space. I'm just looking for free access. And when I said 1 and 2, it's going to probably be really 1A, 1B, right? So your button pressing has to be pretty exact. I'm going to take that little hitch route right there versus man-to-man coverage. It's pretty good. We can kind of throw that, right? This would be a good play you can use in the red zone as well. If you don't like anything to the front side, then you automatically need to, that's by fault right there when it comes to protection. Six-man protection, we can't block. So we got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. Six-man pressure, I'm sorry. We don't have that right now. We're going to go with just, oops, wrong read. Not wrong read, actually, wrong button pressing. So this is where I'm trying to get to you guys to understand. This is where I struggle. Right now, this is like if I'm playing real life, I'm throwing it obviously to the tight end over the ball, and my brain is telling me that. But my button pressing isn't there because I haven't practiced the play enough. So I just automatically threw it to who I throw it to the most is usually this guy right here. All right, the fourth option. So when I got back to this point, 1, 2, 3, and then I actually took first of all, I'm too deep in my drop. That's bad. But this spacing concept, you're gonna need to hold the ball and wait for things to open up a little bit. That's the guy I should throw it to, right? So bad job by me. I might have also came off of my front side read a little bit too quick. That's a poor job by me. I got to be ready to throw that to the outside. I threw it to my number one, but I threw it too late. So you're really going to have to work on this play, guys. This is not something that automatically, day one, you're out there and you're like, oh, cool, I got it. I was late on that one then again. So you probably have to have your fingers hover over where you need to go quickly. Right? There it goes again. And then when you get to the top of your drop, which is going to be pretty quick, you can kind of get your eyes back over to the opposite side and go from there. Now, maybe I'm being a little bit hard-headed with putting my back on that route, which is forcing me to make this a play that I'm throwing into the boundary. If I put it in the middle, kept the back on a swing route. Okay, I'm kind of labbing this with you right now. I might be able to just really, better to throw this first part of the route to the field than to maybe throw it to the boundary just to open up the other side. I'm going to skip my 1 and 2 reads, even though they're kind of like open right now. You can see it. Oh, same thing again. I have to get that. My circle button needs to be the next option. So if you look at this, I'm actually looking at, let me see, these two. Okay. So your first two reads, if you look at it on your sticks, are kind of like the very triangle for PlayStations at the top, and then square is to the left. So you have to be ready. But then your next part of this needs to be come back to circle. All right. And then to X. So it's kind of like you're working, honestly, yeah, you're kind of working like a clock, starting at square and then working back around. But square and triangle, and you don't know which one. Technically, triangle's first. But this is going to take a little bit of reps. And as I'm kind of labbing it with you, man, I'm realizing that this play needs to be worked on. Let's take a look at it from some of the other formations so we don't waste too much time. We also have it out of two gun formations. Interesting here. So gun empty, bunch Y flex. Empty, sorry. Okay. So this one needs to be, let's see, I'm pretty much close in the middle of the field. I'm just going to random play this. So we have our option, or our stick route. We really don't have a number one to the flat. So we're kind of have a little bit one less play. We have our stick route, obviously all out pressure. We're going to get rid of the ball there. This is part of the custom playbook, guys. I didn't like that. Kind of waited on that one. That wasn't smart. I should have sprinkled it around and gone to right off the top. I kind of should have just eliminated this route. He was kind of hanging on it. I'm like, I'm not sure. So if I come over here, right, one of these three are going to be open. The one thing you have to understand is that this route right here is actually the spacing switch part. So this is where I was saying that if you look at number one, he's running one to the flat. If you really wanted to, you could just basically make this a one-sided read. If you like the look and you feel good about it, you could say, I'm just going to work to the right-hand side and just work outside in, right to left. I'm going to look for the out. then look for the sit down, then look for the guy over the ball. You can kind of do that if you really wanted to. Man to man coverage, you kind of lose the ability to have your option route be your first guy or your stick route be your first read versus man to man, which is pretty good. But you're most of the time going to throw the ball, I think, over here. If you do go back to the three receiver side, somebody should be open. All right. All right. The very last one would be gun bunch X nasty, kind of a one timer type of deal. New formation in there. But classic to me, this is the classic spacing switch. This is the one that I actually do love to actually go to the right hand side first because we don't have a true stick route on the left. So this is the one that I actually would recommend if I had to choose something, is to go to the right hand side. And just be careful with your drop. I'm getting a little bit too deep in my drop myself. There really isn't any drop in this. It's kind of one step and throw, one step back, and then kind of go through your read. It's not a three-step drop. I would just do this. That would be ideal. I think it's really late, but I'm going to show it to you, okay? So sorry about that. A little sloppy breakdown there. Apologize, but I think it's good enough that you guys can understand what's going on, and we can move on to the next play, all right? Five-step play would be next. Okay, so now we are up to our five-step game. So Aggie and specials all go, okay? And I always feel weird starting with this, but it is part of the offense. It's very easy, I think, in the college game to take advantage of the interior part of the all go and the special, which is three verticals. And we're going to really focus on that. The outside routes are only there for you if you get press coverage. We know in this game, if you have a really fast receiver with takeoff abilities, you can just burn press coverage. But that's something that's not there all the time. And most times you play the computer, they won't give it to you if you just call this play out the gate. But have it in your audibles. Be ready to check into all of your verticals. So we're kind of cheesing up the computer that way. But in general, let's just talk about the play. I'm not going to go into details of putting Pumas on or comebacks on the outside. We're just going to focus on really taking advantage of the inside part of this route in the college game. Okay, we'll explain more on the field. Okay, so we look here, we got Aggie, which is 2x2 verticals. Okay, and you can see how Coen has the exact same idea. I'm not even going to lie to you. I did not even look at this until I just opened it. And I'm assuming that those outside guys are alerts because it says yes or no. So it's just the, hey, is he open? Right? Yes or no? Or is it something that just tells you off the bat that you can't turn it down? But really, we're just reading the inside part of the routes. Okay. And versus single high defenses, right? Most of the time zone coverage. We're just looking from one side to the other. We might start on one side, go to the other. Make sure you see those two routes and then look for your outlet because that's a lot of times where the ball's going to go. All right. If it was too high shell defense, like let's say cover two, right? We're looking to hit that bender to an outlet. Okay. And that's where you're pretty much going to pick, most of the time, you're going to pick one side. So single high, you might look at cover three, you might look at both seam routes. But honestly, if you pick one side and just stick with it and then throw it to your check down, you're in good shape. And then I just love that he had the same idea that I had because in the pro game, these comebacks or taking a shot down the sideline might be more of it's part of the progression. But right now, it's really not. It's just kind of just take a peek. If you like it, give it to him. If not, just get back your eyes back to where you should be and just read out the inside part of this route. All right. All right. While we're here, let's take a look at special. See if it's that much different. Move on down. Okay. Same thing, right? We're just looking at the inside part of the route. Now, I will say that this guy, though, in the game, I've seen get open late. Okay. So you don't have to really look at it right off the beginning. You can look at your seam route, see if it's there, think about your outlet. But this would be my alert late. Okay. This would be my alert early, especially if you get cover some sort of palms coverage and they're pressing you on the outside like they love to do in the college world. I would look there. Okay. But if we have it at a bunch, we're looking here to here, right? And then obviously, let me go down to the last one. It's just trips 3x1, 3x0, 3x nub, I should say. Hold on one second. I'm going to lose this here in a second. Get rid of all these lines. All right. But look, this one has a trash involved to it. So we'll talk about this on the field. I almost forgot about that. Trash would be a shallow route and a potential angle route behind it. Don't worry about the angle part, but this to this, it'd be your read, man. Okay. So this is a really nice play for college football. It's one of those plays that you're going to need about maybe 4 times a game. We have it up in different situations. So don't be too quick to call it on first and second down unless you need to get back into the game, maybe. But think about it. We're going to use it on third down. We're going to use it in the red zone. But let me just go through the mechanics of this play and just take a look at it on the field versus a variety of coverages. All right. Okay, let's take a look at this bad boy. So I do have 4 versions here, but like I had said, I have some other ones that we're going to get to in situational football. The very first one is out of gun west right slot, okay, which would be gun wing slot weak in the playbook here. 12 personnel. Not a huge fan of the 12 personnel one, but let's just start there. All right, we're definitely going to work most likely the left side of the field. I'm just going to go against most people play nickel, so let's go random nickel, okay? And let's just put the ball on the right, a little closer to the right hash for me. So protection wise, we want to slide the line away from the back, right? Our back, we're just going to leave him. We're not going to actually put him on any type of adjustment. We're going to let him work that option route. So most of the time, all right, versus most computer people and most people online, you're getting pure zone. You might get some match zone, okay? And if you do, you're pretty much relegated to getting into your back, okay? But if you do get pure zone, look for the seam routes, look for both inside guys, right? If you don't like it, throw it, check it down. If you're getting immense pressure, think about running or checking it down. Don't force the ball down the field. The computer reacts pretty damn well. Right there, I could have potentially thrown my seam route, but I wasn't ready for it. He did run a post route right there versus a particular coverage. I'm not sure why he did that. It's too invert, so he's running to the post. But you can see how the linebacker there is getting his depth, getting out. So we're just going to check it down. Okay. Now, when do you look on the outside? Is when you get press position, you get those press alignments and things like that. Then you can start looking for a little peek on the outside. But otherwise, this is pretty easy. I did that late. My fault. I got lucky there. But that was that looked like a zone blitz, but the computer read that as like a too high shell. Let me see if that was zero. Actually, no, it wasn't zero. It read that like a too high shell. I got to put the ball on him right now, way before that. I got to anticipate that he's going to make that break and then go for it. Okay, let's get into a new formation. Let's go with pistol stack off. So pistol double Y stack off. So this is a good formation for us in general. So we definitely want to use this as a nice little change up to get people off of our off of us. So hold on one second here, guys. Oh, there it goes. It is there. Okay. So this is a little bit unique because we do have that nice little. They're not showing it right now. The little kind of outside release vertical by the triangle route could be really good versus some man if you have time. Okay. But we're gonna still work the inside part of this route. What's up with my? There it goes. Okay. Visuals are crazy. You have your 2 inside routes there. All right. This looks like this could be cover zero pressure here. So just be ready for that. Um, where's the back releasing to? He's actually going to the right. So we're going to slide to the right, slide to the left, keep our everything going there. But this is something to think about. I didn't get a chance to throw this ball. I am hot here. I didn't go over the hots. That is my fault. Your hot should be your inside bender. But right now, this is going to be really tough. What happened here? Slid the line to the left, and they did not even try to. I might have to re-mic this, but we'll talk about protections and this stuff later. Computer, of course, is gonna give me some hard stuff. All right, there it goes. Ah, wrong button. That's where you get messed up, boys and girls. I'm trying to throw it to the slide right there, right? It's a quick get up, raise up, throw it. Right now, that's open. I press triangle because that's what it was in the last play. Triangle is actually the real part of this route here. So don't do what I did, boys and girls. Just get that right. You'll be okay. Just remind yourself that um, square is the guy, the person you want to throw the ball to. Okay. Now he kind of naturally bends out right there too, which is pretty neat. Getting back to his landmark, I'm assuming, which is 2 yards, 1 yard inside the numbers. Not bad. That's where, again, don't force that ball there. I kind of did that. If you see that picture, I knew my first read on the inside was pretty much eliminated. So I just said, you know what? Let me just kind of wait on this guy to get open. But that linebacker played the hell out of it. You got to get out of there and run. If you get some sort of cover 2 man or everybody's out of there running away, you got to run with your quarterback. That's one thing that you got to take advantage of. I'm going to take this shot. Probably not the most ideal, wise thing to do. I can tell that that was cover 2. So I actually just said I was going to try to throw a little hole shot there. Don't do that. This receiver has takeoff, so that's why he's so fast and getting out of there. Pretty sure that's what he has. That's why he's pretty special. Let's see here again. Again, I'm trying this out here with you guys, just labbing it in front of you. This was not prepped. This is not edited. So you can go from there. That's a really good play to kind of use. That's going to really get you some good yards, I feel like. That one right there. So much so, I'm going to start making little notations to, I'm going to put more of these little highlighted yellow marks on the page on your call sheet just to say, hey, I really like this one. You know what I mean? That one kind of it sits right with me. Same thing. I'm gonna go back up to that stick spacing play that I like. The second one, that one's pretty neat. Okay, so let's look at these last two. Oops, select the one by accident. It's going to be coming up here, gun trough, which is gun Y off trips week. All right, just traditional verticals here, guys. Nothing special, nothing crazy. Sometimes it's going to happen. You're going to be into the boundary. It's no big deal. Again, we're looking at what this is a definitely cover 0 look. All right. Now, protection wise, you should be blocked up pretty well here. If you can make it audible, you can. You can put your guys on different routes, but let's just see if we can hit this bin route off of the full all out pressure. Yeah, I didn't get that off. Let me take a look at that. I might be doing something wrong with my protections. Oh, they did not bring who I thought. They brought the 2 outside guys, so I am hot again. I'm trying to think. Maybe the tight end would be better. I'm not sure who would be a best hot route in that situation. All right, this is not a great route for obviously all out pressure, but that's fine. Let's just keep it moving. Give yourself a little bit of space here. I mean, just be smart with your drop back, but you need to make sure you can get to that running back, man. He was open there, didn't take it, didn't get it. There you go. Just give it to him. You're going to get a lot of yards there. The one late guy that I'm looking for. So early, I'm looking to see if right now this would be a perfect time. I'm looking on the outside for those wide receivers. Late, I'm looking for the tight end to see if his route gets open. All right. I didn't like it. I really wanted to throw that go ball, but I could tell that there was some sort of double bracket, right? Or something where that safety was there on the outside. He went right to it. So couldn't get that look that I wanted. They actually played some pretty good defense there. It looks like that might have been double number 2 or something like that. They doubled the hell out of that guy. All right. Let's look at it one more time. We got off corners, so we're not looking outside. This is where I'm going to take this shot here just to kind of show it to you. That tight end working across the field, if he kind of, you can kind of anticipate that he might get open late. That would be your late kind of like look. Okay, that's annoying right there. That would have been it right there if I was looking at it. My eyes went right there from 1 to 2, and 2 is not getting out of the backfield for whatever reason. So maybe it's because of my protections. Let me take a look. Do this again. Let me just change the mic point. I just want to see if that changes up how my back gets out. Not really. But there goes that over route again, you know? About to throw it, but I got hit. They brought pressure. It's funny though, my mic point, I thought that would have helped me get the pressure picked up, but it didn't matter. All right. All right. Last one that we're taking a look at here is again, this is not a huge part of our offense, guys. So don't think that this is what we do. We're not really based out of this all day, but we need to have this. It's still college football. Trio halfback week, which is jam right, jam left. All right. Now we have what my version of special with what do you call it? Trash on the backside. We're doing it at a 4x1. All right. So we don't have the extra halfback running the little Marshall route or the Faulk route. So what we do have though is number two, who could get open early. I don't like how this is kind of bending back over towards the middle, to be honest with you. I wish he just went vertical, but right now we're just keep it this way. 4x1 versus zone. This route does usually open up pretty quickly. If it's versus match coverage, kind of bugs out. I threw it really early because I wanted to see what would happen. But you can see there's some good options there. You're really looking here to your number two receiver to that trash route. That's pretty much the read. You can give it to him early. Don't forget to just peek number one on the outside. If it's press, peek number three late. If you can anticipate, give me the same coverage over and over. If you can anticipate the late throw to number three. All right, this looks good. Here we go. Outside guy should be something to take a look at. I'm gonna take a shot on it right now. Not a good throw. He didn't really win. That's where you might have to back your screen up or something like that just to see what's going on. They're kind of giving me the same deal here. Then your back would be your check down. So protection wise, I'm not even getting it set up. Let me do it real quick. We're half slide away from the back. Right now we got the mic as the outs that guy right there. That's fine. They keep giving me the same coverage over and over. So when the computer does that, they kind of try to let you know what the best coverage is. What are they actually giving me over and over? Looks like some sort of cover three cloud-ish kind of coverage. That's what it looks like. Oh, not really. Nope. On the backside, we're getting two invert. You know, we're getting quarters. But the thing is, though, this guy's actually jamming, which is I don't know if that's what we should always do. Interesting. All right. It looks like kind of like a I want to call it cover six invert because that's not what it is either. I do that really late, but still benefited from it. Number one was there. It was press. He kind of came off of it early. I thought he actually beat him, but it ended up being zone from a two-man look. Got lucky, still made a free-form pass to the outside and deep just so I can get it in there. Thank God the safety didn't react. All right. So that's the vertical game, Aggie and special. Take a look at that and see if you like it. I think I like the one here with trash. The timing wasn't great, but I'm still gonna give it a yellow mark as something that we should take a look at later on. All right. Okay, guys. I'll see you in the next concept. Okay, so we're up to Steamer. Steamer is a really big play for Coen. We really likes it in college. I think we're gonna try to take advantage of it ourselves a little bit here. Um, I need to probably get it up more a little bit, to be honest with you, some other situations. I think I have it in the red zone. But let's take a look at Steamer in the playbook form. So don't forget, I have to go back into the three-step world. I just don't consider this a three-step pass. We're gonna probably five-step this bad boy, all right? Because we got to wait for some things to open up. Now, in his route concept, he actually puts number one is the first option. I'm not sure if we're going to really work with that, but we might look at it because we're going to throw it to the college field. So I'm going to take a look at his stock. And number two would be your stick route. I believe that this outlet route really it becomes more like 2A and 2B. That's my opinion. Because if he's not open, you got to throw it to 2B right now. And if not, you're running. Okay. The huge alert, though, that this is the reason why it becomes a five-step, in my opinion, is really that this route needs a little bit of time to work. And how do you kind of build that into your system is the question. So I see this ball being thrown a lot out here. So this must be a big part of the route. Even though it's an alert, I really think it's kind of like part of the read. So let's try to figure this out in the field together and make sense of everything. Okay, shock H option. You're going to see this play in a lot of books, right? So it's easy to find. We're going against random play. We're going to put the ball on the right hash. We're going to throw it to the left side for now. That's how it's built naturally. All right. So we have that vertical route that's not showing up for me, whatever reason. This game is so buggy when it comes to the visuals. That inside fade is kind of that alert. How long do you want to sit on this and actually wait for this to get open, right? Obviously, that was a bad read. There's safety back there. That's always the question that you got to ask. So let's just go through this. Let's just go through the reads like how they might say they would want. See, that's a bad job right there. I actually went through the read there, even though it's press man. I went to one. Let me show you a replay of this. I actually went. I looked at one. I didn't expect to go to two, especially with the safety backing up, but I probably could have. No, like nope, it did not have. Could not have. One's not there, right? Two, I thought I had it. I just do it late. Okay. See how late I'm throwing it. And like I had told you, it really needs to be 2A and 2B in my opinion. So it's either going to be that route or I should have said, hey, this guy looks like he might be working against man. I'm going to throw this route right there. You see the answer. You see the answer to the test after it's done. Let's take a look at it again. If number one is really an option for me, his little route, come on, show it off. But that 5 yard hitch is too deep. It probably needs to be a what do you call it? A now route or just a screen, smoke screen. But let's just take a look at it again. Yeah, you can see how sloppy that is. I probably could have gone to the fade route, but again, I'm not even looking at the fade route right now. Going by the reads on the sheet, it says one. Is one open? No, I'm not going to take that. I mean, maybe I could, but that's really rough. And then you see how the spacing is always poor with this guy and this guy. If I wanted to hit number two, yeah, he's open, but he's also throwing it right into a corner that's sitting there doing nothing really, coming down on number one. So the spacing is really bad. If I was looking at him as number two, I probably would have took a shot. All right. So I don't know. This play gets a little bit sticky. If you guys have any advice on it, but I've had this advice here with putting number one on a 5 yard speed out will actually just open up the play a little bit, kind of define it. That's way too late. That corner, what was he doing there? That corner definitely didn't play that deep route, did he? I'm just curious because I could have thrown that ball. Kind of backs up slow, but no, he's playing cover two. I think in the college game, we got to make this throw. I really do. I really do. I think that has to be part of the read, man. I'm sorry to say this. I hate to be that guy, but it's just really hard to alert something that's late again. Don't do that. It's hard to alert something when you're looking at other routes and then you just kind of alert to see if he's open. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. I do like the speed out the best right now, but where I'm struggling is that the speed out is not there like it was right there. Do I throw it to this guy or do I throw it to three or do I throw it to the running back? That's where you can see some of my decision making is a little slow. But it's either going to be circle or R1. This is where button repetition is important. Again, we're getting the all out press look here. They could bail. I'm still going to read one. Can't see him on the screen. I got to run. So the one thing about stick routes that I don't like is stick routes. Anyway, stick routes really break off fast. Like they don't really get to their depth. In real life, I would tell this guy to push up to 5 to 6 yards. He's like rounding it off at 3 to 4 yards. Like that's not good. It's just too quick. Doesn't give my quarterback time to actually read it out. You know what I mean? He's just like eliminated himself. It's almost like I have to make him the first read. I don't want to do that. I want to try the smoke screen actually if I can. I want to show me the thing. Here we go. Which really kind of eliminates him to be number one. This is where I would think my read would go more to, hey, let's take a look at that fade as number one, alert it right away, and then come back to the underneath stuff. Right. Then I'm like, all right, cool. Come back to the underneath stuff. We're good. And then I can possibly come back to the little hitch, the little smoke screen as the late adjustment route. Like right here, oh shit, I wanted to throw the ball deep. You can see I'm throwing a lob pass right there. I'm really curious to see if that safety is going to come off the hash and really make a play. Yeah, and you can see I'm not too well versed in this play of calling it a whole lot, but I'm pressing is a little bit slow. We're working it out right here live on this video. All right. See if we can get it in there. Uh, that's not good. I need something in order for me to get that ball in there. I need something to hold the safety. So that kind of makes it right easy decision right there. That little fade route is going to only be good versus like man to man coverage or scheme coverage. Otherwise, we don't really need that. Let me go back to this. We don't need to look at it right now. We're not going to get it. It would be a busted coverage situation. Somebody's wide open, butt naked. Just kind of always keep it in your periph, but don't stress it. I'll try to throw it to the running back there. Pressure came. We are 5-man protection, so you don't need to do anything with the protection. Just leave it alone. This is where an example I might say I'm gonna take that shot, but again, I don't have the time there. You might want to leave your running back in the block or your tight end in the block because if you see even here the tight end's route, where is he at? There he goes. It's a corner route. He's not going to get the ball most of the time. Right? I'm just being honest. I'm still trying to throw this ball in there, and it's not getting in there. That safety's really making it seem like he can play all the whole field, can he? Computer wise, be very cautious to throw the ball to number 3. He's probably going to be open a lot, I think, versus a user, not so much. All right. Steamer's going to show up again. We're going to study it some more. But I think overall, the best way is just to put number 1 on I think putting him on the smoke route is best and just working your inside part of your defense, inside part of your play, and just alerting those guys late down the field. The outside fade and also the inside fade and also a little smoke. You want to try the out route, you're pretty much forcing yourself to have to throw the ball out there. If you feel comfortable, give it a shot. I'm not going to force myself to do that. I think that's just too much. There's too many other good plays that we can kind of work with. All right, guys, I will see you on the next play. Okay, I have an affinity for this play, Hank. Is it one of the best plays in the game? No. Um, but it is West Coast, and it is what separates, in my opinion, more Sean McVay from Shanahan. Now, Shanahan will run this play. Going back to Kubiak, Senior, he is the guy that I know still ran this play. I remember having a conversation with him about it, and he just loves this play. It's one of the things that he likes to do on first and second down early in the game. I think he kind of grew up with it, being a West Coast Bill Walsh disciple. Just basically, hey, I'm not calling him a Bill Walsh disciple, but he played, with the original Broncos teams in the 90s that really ran this offense when Shanahan was there. And that lineage is heavy, heavy, heavy Bill Walsh style offense, right? So it's an old school play. It's kind of good in the game versus zone coverage. You're going to get a lot of zone. It's okay versus man and match. You might get sometimes some corners that are really good that might break up a pass or intercept it, but it's worth having in there. And we're going to run it from more spread sets. That's going to give us a little bit more of an advantage. We're not going to be old school and try to run this from 21 personnel. Okay. Let's take a look at the playbook diagrams. Okay. We're looking at Hank. So Hank is Hank. Okay. I've always learned that you want to run this play away from the down safety. Okay. So we're going to be in 11 personnel. Um, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's actually running it to the down safety away from the nickel, right? But away from the down safety is usually versus 21, 12 versus base defense. Okay. So whatever side you pick, just pick a side and live with it. Not a huge deal. Um, we're going to pick a side, but we are going to work the middle of the field to that route. So we're sitting on that. All right. So we're 5-step, sit and hold. Now, you need to kind of anticipate this route getting open. You don't want to sit on it too long because, in my personal opinion, throwing the ball to the flat, let's say we go to the right, throwing it, onto the curl late is a recipe for disaster. Okay. But if you are getting pure zone, which is kind of like our target here against a zone team, let's run this play more often. To me, this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2A and 2B. Okay, we're not working at 2 to 3. We're working at, hey, at that point when you turn your eyes back on 1 throw, not there. 2, as you're saying 2, you're reading it out, is what is the flat defender doing, right? The nickel, whoever it is, who's in the window? Is there somebody in the window for this? Is there somebody in the window for that? Throw where there's nobody in the window, okay? this or that, and that's that. If you don't like the flat route being your guy because maybe it's getting a little bit too deep, then work always to the side of the running back. This is actually one of the nice things that if you do make a late decision and throw it outside late, then you could potentially, you could be, you could throw it behind the line of scrimmage and you're not going to get in trouble. But historically, though, you really want to make sure. From what I've read, this is what I've seen before. I know right now it says 1 to 2 to the right side only. I don't believe in that 100%. Um, in the game itself, let's just kind of draw this on the screen and then I'll do it on the field. Backer, backer, nickel, right? Those are your underneath defenders. 3-by-1, you're getting this in the game default. So if that happens, okay, your whole underneath coverage is kind of like shifting over, even if you have a safety down over here and he's playing either this or this guy like going this way, kind of actually he won't go across his face. He kind of goes and sits right over the ball, forces you to now have to come back to the left hand side. So the game in cover three sky, um, and the game the way they play, they kind of push their coverages. They play a skate version of their defense where everybody's kind of pushing out to the outside. They're kind of flooding that side. You have to end up working back to the opposite side. Okay, so that's what I'm anticipating. If it's quarters, they don't have enough people underneath. If it's cover two, they do have enough people underneath, but you have to. There is a window here to still throw these curl routes, and maybe even a window here because a lot of times the Tampa dropper is getting out of there. Okay, if they play hard flats, your corners are coming up, so there's a little window there in cover two as well. So you could throw this versus cover two, and then versus man to man, you just got to throw it on time. And if you see it, make sure you throw that ball on time. Don't throw it late. All right, let's jump on the college football field. Okay, so like I said, I want to work this from gun trough to start. Just gives me a nice little easy 3-by-1 formation. I'm going to start. I usually don't try to juke the plays. I like to run them just like random, so you can kind of believe me that they work. But let's take a look at where is it at. All right, we have our curl play. I'm going to run it versus cover three sky to start. Okay, just check out. Let's put the ball in the middle field. Let's check out the way the guys drop on defense. You see, watch the two inside linebackers. They're going to get a lot of width and kind of work out to their right on the screen. Okay, so that's why working to the right on this play is not the best idea. Okay, working to our left versus this type of coverage is better. So on that 2 count, I'm pretty much making a decision to either throw it to the curl or the running back. So if I go 1 count, 2 count, whatever, 1 throw, 2 throw, whatever it is, that's where I'm at. Okay. Now, protection wise, I think the back is nope, he's not checking out. So that's why I wanted to keep it this way, actually. He's not checking out. I don't really want him to check out, but let's just try it anyway. Let's put him on a lock and release real quick. Let's test this out with you guys. We got the half slide. I mean, it might give you a little bit more room, to be honest with you there. There's no like, you're not putting the defender in a bind. You're letting him be able to play 2 routes naturally. I'd rather him get out right now and put a defender in a bind, okay? I don't know what I did that for. I'm trying to see if I can still throw the over the ball route. Hold on 1 second. You can kind of see how this is also different, how we're running Hank when number 2 is running inside instead of sitting down over the ball. So it's a little bit different. All right. Let's see what else we have here. We also have it out of 0-1 personnel. It's 5 wide receiver tray, flex tray it is. This is more of a traditional style. I'm going to go random play now, okay? So now we're back to the point of who do you want to go away from? What's the matchup you like? What's the throw you like? Just kind of go to maybe if you have a best receiver, okay? Or, if they play man, you're like, hey, I want to be able to win with my receiver. But in general, I can easily anticipate that guy was going to be open. If you have a user, it might be a little bit tougher. Okay, I threw that one a little bit late, but what I saw there was I look to the left, the side that I chose. You can see how the safety's coming down. It's the zone pressure. They're bringing that pressure. Number one is taken away right now, right? You're like, okay, that's easy. Now, because they brought the safety down to the left, I'm going to look to the left because I feel like they're light on people. My flat route could have possibly had him if I was looking there sooner, but that's okay. Timing wise, right now, I'm throwing it into the back of a defense's head. And my corner is kind of nailing down right now, but still, we're going to trust that we can beat him because we know this is probably a zone pressure. If it was man pressure, that corner might have just really, jumped the hell out of that route, but we're okay there. Okay. Whoops. Did we play again? Let's run a little more or two more. If you really like man to man cover, oh, geez, the computer's good at that. I'm so sorry. I thought I can beat him on that route. I thought that was equivalent to a curl route, but that really wasn't. You can see it. This is the cover two that I was talking about. So we're ended on this one. I just like throwing left, just so you know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just kind of used to it, but the curl route, not there. I'm sorry, OTB route, okay, it is actually there. But for whatever reason, I just got off of it. All right. And then now we're looking over here, make a decision, either 2A or 2B. Look at the corner. He's trying to trap us a little bit. He takes away that outside out route, flat route. So we throw it right to this guy. And that's how playing cover two can look just like that if those corners are aggressive and if they're told to come downhill. Okay. All right. I'll see you in the next play. Okay, so what I did was kind of group these plays together because they're kind of all they're next to each other, but they're separated. They're all kind of in a category where you have some sort of shallow beneath to help you out. So we already did the drive stuff. Bingo Shack, we're gonna just take a look at it quickly. It's just basically shallow cross. All right. And then we'll get to the next one. Faulk. Again, that's more of the arches type of play. Cherokee is mesh. And branch bow is really kind of almost in the same category as the Coco Drive. Maybe I need to start with that one first. So I'll flip this around for you guys when you get this sheet. I'm probably going to put branch bow at the top because it kind of is in the same category as Coco and pressure drive. So let's start with that one first. All right. So in the game, we don't have this play really set up right now. Maybe I can go find it somewhere else. But branch bow is kind of I'm using the Coco bow play here. This is personality of the wide zone offense. We get right here this Coco route, which is working off an option route. But if it wasn't that way, we can just work the regular 5 yard branch route that we know from the terminology from the pro game. So we're just going to use that in this situation. The bow part is probably the most interesting part. You get the dig, and then you get this little sit down route. Okay. In the game, we're not going to make it, it can't really be a true option route, but it's going to be just a sit down little hitch. All right. And the outlet comes to this side as well. So this little backside bow concept is pretty important. I would not run this play from a lot of different varieties because to me, again, read wise, you're looking at one here on your out route, and then you're looking at 2A to 2B on your backside, and then your three here because one of these two routes are going to open up at the same time, and you want your button presses to be just reflective, just like we did on stick spacing. You want to make sure that you're used to knowing with just second nature which guy you're throwing to and which button you're pressing to. So that's one of the hardest things to do. But I think this whole bow play can show up again. This backside bow concept will show up with a lot of different front side concepts, but we can always have this backside concept be something that we love and we learn. As you guys grow with the offense, you're going to see this play pop up, this type of play pop up a lot. All right, let's take a look at it on the Madden field. So I have it only up out of one play right now. It is out of single back deuce close. There will be other iterations of this play, versions, whatever you want to say, coming up. But this one here is kind of a basic one. It's Titans bench. I kind of like to work it right to left, just so you know. I'm just going to work it the way it is right here. And I'm going to go against a stock defense. Okay. So we got the good old right now branch route, right? Just a quick little 5 yard out. This one here, unfortunately, we do have to put the tight end on a route. And this is a little bit difficult, okay? Because we don't really have something that we love. Actually, the hook route might be it. Oh, that's not bad. This isn't exactly what I would think, what I was thinking, because this is more like over the ball, but it's not bad. Let me see what else we have. We could do we could just do a regular out route, but I hate that he has to work. By the time I get there, I don't want him working into another zone. So let's go back to that good old hook route. That's the best way to go. Okay. And then we have our back naturally going out to the right. So here it's the good old circle and X, which I like the way they work together here on PlayStation, right next to each other. All right. So let's work this. The out's there. Take it. Take the 5 yards. Right. Nice, easy read. Kind of goes in the same category that what we were just talking about, right? Just the backside concept's a little bit different, right? I kind of waited too long there, but went with that. Didn't put my guy into a sit down route. Hold on. So I hate that I have to give you guys an audible. I try not to do that, but that's what we have right here. I'm gonna pretend it's not there. I threw this dig kind of late, but it was open. Remember to eliminate number one pretty quick, okay? So this category right here, this play right here is very, very specific to getting the ball out quickly. It's going to be really just like the drive play. I should probably even just group them all together. Branch bow with the sail drive. It's very similar, but I'll keep it the way I have it with the line in between. But you guys know it is probably the next play in the progression. All right. All right. I will see you guys back on the playbook diagrams here in a second to look at the next play. Okay, we have Bingo Shack here. Bingo Shack is pretty much the good old school shallow cross, but really, guys, this route right here is about trying to throw this over route, right? But then looking at that running back route as really where the ball is going to go a lot. But we're working some sort of high low in the middle, okay, with our shallow cross concept. So we got one, we got two, but this is your third option, and this is the guy that you're going to pretty much take a look at a lot, okay. In the game, we're just going to have two verticals, I think, off the outside, if I'm not mistaken. We can always alert for a go ball, but this is just a generic play of running shallow, basically something cross. All right, so let's take a look at this one right here on the Madden field or college football field. Play's actually been a pretty good play for me. I've used it in some key situations. We do have a post on the outside on the left hand side, but why shallow cross? We're in 10 personnel, so that's gonna be pretty good. Come out versus dime or something. Okay. So we get the shallow cross is going to be there. We have to get the bingo, unfortunately, to work with us. That's the only bad thing. So you got to put that running back on his out route. But again, the shallow cross is going to be really good for you. You guys know that's a good play in this game. It's coming with speed. It should be one of your fast wide receivers. You should put him in that position. Only if that route is covered, then you should come off of it. Like right there, I just got to throw that route. Trying to go to the next progression there. I thought it was covered too. This looks like all out pressure, so it's going to be pretty easy to get the ball to the shallow. This is not going to be six-man protection. We're going to let the back get out. Hopefully, I might have to create an example just to show you how the back gets out. It's a little bit shallow there, but that's what we're looking for. And we have the dig. So it really goes again, shallow to the dig, to the crosser, to the back. All right. Looks like we could get pressure here again. All right. So that's pretty simple, right? We're just going to work that play. Nice little, you know, I'm actually going to tag this version of the play. I think I like this one the most. Um, it's a nice little get back on track play, maybe. You kind of put it in that category for if you like. I'm not going to do it right now for us, but that's something to take a look at. All right. All right. I'll see you in the next play. Okay. What I decided to do is break it up into another little, I'll give a little, obviously, a little separation. So I decided to just leave it as the branch bow and the bingo shack together. Okay. And then I'm going to do Faulk and Cherokee separate. All right. Because it does deserve its own section because we're going to be using this in the red zone a good amount. So we need to learn these plays separately. All right. All right. You see the thing pop up here in a second. Okay, sorry about the confusion. We're gonna just make sure Falk is different. Marshall Falk was a great running back for the St. Louis Rams back in the day. Also with the Colts or before that. He used to be a good receiving back as well, kind of like in the Christian McCaffrey type of role. And putting him on these little angle routes, these little what they call short posts back in the day, is huge. So the play that you see in the Shanahan book is called Arches, and Arches is a play that is going to be something that you're going to want to just study a little bit from the Shanahan book if you want. But all it is, this is a 2x2 version right now. We're looking at the little, what they call Falk route, right? Which is kind of that quick little slant route, works outside, gets in that little window. That's your number one read. Then you have your shallow as your number two read. Okay. And then usually you have a third read. Now, this one here, the way he set this up with this corner, I think that's really sweet. We're not going to be able to get that in the game. You're looking for an outlet of some sort. Okay. So you're just reading it like a book. Um, that's a 2x2 version of it. We don't have that in the game. Unfortunately, a lot of our stuff is going to be built off of the 3x1 version. Let me see if I can move this down a little bit. Okay, so these are the ones that you're familiar with. All right, 3x1 here, here. Okay, and then I guess the comeback could be your third read. That's pretty good. A lot of times I don't mind that one. Here goes a version from the bunch that we're going to look at. One, to 2 to 3 to potentially 3B. Okay. So it's a pretty simple read. All right. So let's take a look at this one right now. This is something that the reason why I wanted to make this separate is because this is going to be a play that we're going to use in the red zone and then we're going to use it in third down. So it needs to have its own little separator so you guys can go find this later on easier. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the one play that we have right now up in first and second down. Yeah, as I was looking at this, I thought this was a Faulk play. It's not. It's a return whip trail is a different type of concept. So we're going to remove it from our call sheet. All right. And we're going to add in quickly. I have some other ones here. You can see this is part of the custom playbook. The version that we're going to use is this one here. Okay. Bunch arches. Okay. You're going to see me kind of switch over here in a second. Okay. So we're going to replace that one, put this one in. And then when we get in the field, I'll get the formation set up for you. So I'll see you on the field. We'll take a look at this play in a second. Okay, so we have this play up right here on the right-hand side. This is a one-time play from this formation. I've run it a few times in my practice games. Let's come out and just nickel. Okay, so we have here, it could be considered a combination if you really wanted to with the backside little um, out route. So that would be like a branch, you know? So that part, the only bad thing about this is that that eliminates one of your reads if you really wanted to run this from a situation where that was your third read, okay? So I would definitely take the outside guy and just put him on a comeback just to give yourself something to read as a third read over here. Maybe that's not the best way to do it, but we'll take a look at it. All right. But we're kind of waiting for R1 to be the guy. Okay. So you kind of have to trust that he's going to win on this route because it's coming from bunch. It's not like a quick hitter. It's a little bit of a slow hitter. You know what I mean? You have to kind of trust that he's going to win his route. It's a tight end for you. So make sure you have the right personnel in there. We're going to have this up in some other different ways with different people running it, but that's how we start. Let's see if they give me a time where I don't want to throw it. Okay, that one they covered pretty well. So I went to number 2. That one was really murky. So I went to the comeback. Okay. So that's pretty much the read. The out route is just the little branch route. Don't even worry about it. It's just there to distract. But take a look at this. So I'm looking out here, right? And I'm looking for number 1. I could just kind of like tell that, oh, okay, it's kind of cloudy. You got 2 guys over here for whatever reason, but they're just bumping into each other. Then I went to number 2, but look what's out in front of him. One of the safeties dropped down in the middle of the field, took that away. So I said, okay, let's just go to the comeback. Went to the outside comeback. All right. So that's a good little play for you guys to mess around with. Get ready for that play to show up some more. That's a kind of like an intro to it. I'll see you in the next and last play of the dropback game. Right, Cherokee. So Cherokee is mesh, all right, with the rail route with the running back. He's your hot route. Um, just very good overall play here. The one thing that is interesting is his progression is starting with the running back. Okay, so we're going to use this in the red zone as well, obviously, in some other situations, but working starting from the running back, I like that. And because you want to see if it's there, right? Your eyes are to that side, so we're working 2 to 3, okay? And your outlet is the guy going all the way back across the ball, but you probably won't get to it too much. So reading it like a book, left to right, pretty easy. Let's get on the field, take a look at it. Okay, so we're going to look at under center ball, and we're going to look at single back tight slots, one of the best formations, I think, in the game. We're going to read this one right to left just because the way it's set up right here, but you can actually flip it. Let's flip it. Let's just flip it for now. Let's make it just like the playbook. Okay. So if I was to flip this play, let me just check this out. Yeah, it would be different now. Okay. So you whatever button, whatever side you want to run this to, pick a side and let's go with it. All right. I'm gonna leave it stock. I decided not to flip it. I want my number 2 to be that triangle. Okay. And I want to be used to that. Number 3, it's not a true sit over the ball route, but it's close enough with the dig. okay, and go from there. All right, let me see what the other route is over here. It's a corner. That's fine. So we're going to read the running back to the underneath route. That underneath route's going to be a big route for you. No doubt about that. I have it flipped again. My fault. Hold on. Let's get out of this. I'm not always shifting the play. Let me just get it back to its original orientation. All right, there we go. Let's just say they're going to come on base personnel. Okay, so running back, how long do you wait for the running back? Like I can tell that he was in man coverage, but what else is happening? It's 5-man rush. So you don't want to wait too long. But this one I'm going to wait on. Take a shot. You have a really good running back with speed, taking that shot right there is what you want. You can kind of see right there. How did I know it's man-to-man coverage, right? Think about it from a defensive point of view. Who has to cover the running back usually? A safety. As soon as he started stepping down like that, I thought he had to cover him. They actually did a combo switch with the linebacker, which ended up working out even better for me. As soon as I saw that safety come running downhill, there was a good chance that it was cover one. All right. Another one. Only bad thing is what? That guy was actually blitzing. So I was hot. I got away with it because I was able to hold the ball because it was a safety pressure, but don't hold it too long. Okay, number 3 option there. Okay. Take a look at this replay and end it on this one. All right. Finally get to end it on a good note with you guys. 1, right? Yeah, not there. Running back. Got a guy in the flat sitting there waiting. Safety's not coming running down. It's not 0. It's not 1. But they did a good job of dropping somebody there. Number 2, what does the middle linebacker do? He runs with number 2, okay, with the second read. Not there. So that means if they're doing all of that, there's a good chance that number 3 is open. It's some sort of man match coverage, and we're getting that wide open. As long as you have the time in the pocket. All right. All right, guys. Thank you for watching the Dropback game. It was a lot, I know. Too much that I won't even do the screens right now. Screens will have his own video. It's important to kind of like take a look at the little things about the screens, but I really do like these plays. I kind of highlighted the ones in yellow that are my favorites. Maybe those are the ones that you want to pull over and double up and put them into your openers, just like we did with the play action game. All right. You guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that? Just let me know. I'll talk to you later. Peace.